Hello and welcome to day 8 of the 10-day Yoga for Mental Wellness and Deepening Awareness Challenge. My name is Hannah Ray, and today I have for you another slow flow class with the theme of returning to our center. So today's class, we're going to be moving mindfully, focusing on our core engagement and bringing our awareness inward through our alignment as well as through our breath and connection with the present moment as we flow throughout this class. So if you're ready, no props are required today. Just grab our mat and let's go ahead and get started. All right, we're going to begin today on our back. Maybe just bringing the soles of the feet together, allowing the knees to open out to the side. We're going to begin here just taking a few moments to come inward, maybe placing one hand on the chest, one on that low belly space, just beneath the belly button. Just begin to observe the breath as the inhale rises through that belly. With your exhale, releasing all the air from the lungs, just softening into this moment. Taking notice of whatever condition you're in today. Noticing anything you're feeling physically. Noticing the state of the mind, whether it's fast or calm today. State of the emotions. Inhaling deeply. Exhaling fully and slowly. And perhaps inviting in an intention for our practice today. And that could be something as I return to my own energy, or I find grounding and stillness within. So go ahead and choose whichever or anything else that feels more relevant to you. Just repeat that a few times mentally here. Breathing in that positive intention. And with each exhale, releasing anything that you don't need in this moment. Anything that's going to be a distraction through this practice today. Just setting the intention to set that aside, to stay present through this short experience this morning. Good, and when you're ready, let's go ahead and bring the knees together. We're just going to move the feet apart so they're about hip width apart here. And we're going to begin by doing some exercises that we did in one of our earlier classes for this challenge, just beginning to focus on that pelvic floor again. So take an inhale, expand through the belly. As you exhale, draw that belly button inward, that pelvic floor lifting up as we engage through the core here, getting that low back flat against the mat. Inhale, expand through the belly, releasing any resistance or tension. And exhale, engaging through the core, belly button pulling inward. Inhale, expand. Exhale, engage, slightly tucking those hips under. Inhale. Exhale. You're welcome to place your hands here on the belly to feel what's happening through that core as we do this movement. Good. Okay, let's inhale. Exhale, engage that core, tuck those hips under, begin to engage through the glutes as we press up. Again, not breaking this level position here. We don't want to arch through the low back. So keep those glutes engaged, those hips tucked under. Take an inhale at the top. Exhale. Pull that belly button back into the spine as we begin to round the spine down one vertebrae at a time. Just noticing any wobbling, any movement happening between the two sides, trying to stabilize here. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, tuck those hips, engage the core as we begin to lift back up. Slowly and mindfully aware of what's happening here. Using the strength of the glutes to push those hip bones up toward the sky. Inhale at the top. Exhale, slowly rounding back down. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale. Engage and tuck those hips as we lift back up. Inhale. And exhale, engage that core again, and just take some pulses here, just dropping the hips about an inch or so, pressing up toward the sky. Squeezing through those glutes to get that little lift. Get it, squeeze and hold. Take an inhale. Exhale. Begin to engage that core as you roll back down one vertebrae at a time. Good. From here, we're just going to find our way over to our hands and knees now. Make sure those hips are aligned above the knees here. The hips, above the knees, and the shoulders above the wrists. Allow that belly to sink. As you exhale, think about pulling that belly button into the spine. So here we're not going into a full arch, but we're just, again, pulling that low belly in, belly button up toward the spine, so that we have this flat back here, engaged core. From here, let's extend the left leg behind. And then extending the right arm forward. If you have a lot of wobble today, then you can also just grab that left arm with the right hand just above the elbow here. So take whichever variation is best for you. And again, we want to be level here. We want to try to avoid as much teetering as we can. So you exhale, begin to connect the right elbow to the left knee. Then inhale, opening, finding that nice straight line again. The core still engaged, belly button pulled into the spine. Exhale, connect. Inhale, extend. Be sure you're pressing strong through that left shoulder. Exhale, connect. Inhale, extend. So we aren't sinking through the shoulder. Everything is strong and engaged here. Exhale, connect. Inhale, extend. One more time like this. Exhale, connect. Inhale, open up. You can find that center and just give me a small pulse of that back leg and front arm. Just little baby pulses. So again, we aren't breaking through the back here, but keeping everything aligned. Good, and release, coming back to center. Take a child's pose for just a moment. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale again. Exhale, rounding back to tabletop. We're just going to take it to the other side now. So again, start by exhaling, bringing that belly button in toward the spine. Low belly being sucked in here. And this time we're going to extend the right leg. And be sure the hips again are square to the mat, that we aren't lifting up out to the side. Strong through that right shoulder as you begin to extend the left arm, or maybe grab above that elbow. Finding your balance, finding stillness to begin. Straight line through the body. Inhale. Exhale, connect knee to elbow. Inhale, or extending, finding that line again. Exhale, connecting. Inhale, extending. Exhale, connect. Inhale, extend. Exhale, connect. Crunching through the core. Inhale, extend, still strong through that right shoulder. And then taking those little pulses here. And keeping that line in the body. Heel and hand just lifting slightly. And hold. And release. Coming back down to that child's pose for a moment. Take an inhale. So you exhale, rounding back to tabletop. Tuck those toes under, press your way back into your first down dog of the day. Maybe keeping that bend in the knees. Flat through the back here, so we aren't rounded at the top. Space between the thumb and index fingers is pointing forward, elbows drawing downward. If you can, see if you can allow those heels to begin to drop to the mat. Take an inhale. With your exhale, begin taking a few steps toward the front of the mat. Just hanging here for a moment. Perhaps grabbing opposite elbows, maybe rocking side to side. Go ahead and release those arms. So inhale, we're going to begin to sweep the arms up, finding our way into our chair pose. So the knees and feet are just a few inches apart here. Again, be sure that we're pulling that belly button into the spine, that we aren't arching through the low back here. Pull in, strong core. Inhale. Exhale. See if you can sink it a little bit lower. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, coming up, standing, hands at prayer at heart center. Exhale, sink back into chair. Again, that core is engaged, belly button pulled in. Inhale, standing up. Exhale, sinking down. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, sinking it low. Inhale, return to standing. Exhale, squat. Inhale, stand. Exhale, finding that chair pose, holding here. Staying present, staying with the breath. Inhale to center. Reaching those arms up overhead. With your next exhale, stepping that back foot into our warrior one pose. So that back foot turned out just slightly. Front knee is still over that ankle. Hips square to the front of the mat. Belly button still pulled in, core strong here. Inhale. With your exhale, begin to pivot now, turning that back foot parallel to the back of the mat, finding our warrior two pose. And again, pulling that core in, hips are tucked under here. A strong engagement through the center, finding your balance, finding your center. Inhale, turn that front palm up toward the sky. Exhale, begin to reach down that back leg as we find our peaceful warrior. Inhale, returning to that warrior two. Hips still tucked under. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Inhale, warrior two. So we're going to extend forward, maybe resting that front knee on the elbow, or perhaps bringing those hands down toward the mat as we find our extended side angle. Breathing in, finding that stillness, finding your balance. Exhale mindfully. Inhale, come back to warrior two. Returning to warrior one. And then stepping through to our chair pose again. So be sure that belly button is strong, pulled into the core. Inhale, stand up. Exhale, squat it down. Inhale, standing. Exhale, lowering. Holding here. Finding your breath, finding your center. Inhale, stand. Exhale, step back with the right foot this time for warrior one. So back foot is just turned out slightly. Front knee over the ankle still. Hips square to the front of the mat. Inhale. Exhale, pivoting on that back foot for warrior two now. Again, bringing those hips tucked under. Everything square and aligned. Arms extended strong out to the sides. Maybe sink a little lower over that front knee if you can. Inhale. Exhale, extending into that peaceful warrior, reaching down that back leg. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, extend. Peaceful warrior. Inhale, warrior two. And then again, finding that extended side angle. So maybe resting that elbow onto the knee, or perhaps dropping those fingertips down to the mat. Looking up toward the sky here. Find your balance, find stillness here. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Let it go. Inhale, coming back to that warrior two. And pivoting. And stepping your way back into chair pose once more. Inhale, standing. Exhale, squatting down. Just finishing with a few more chair squats here. Inhale, stand. Exhale, sink it low. Inhale, standing. Exhale, sinking it, holding it here. And then folding forward with your exhale. Maybe walking out the knees a little bit here. Taking a few more breaths. And when you're ready, just find your way seated at the center of the mat. Maybe inviting those eyes to close as we come inward for another moment. Coming back to that intention. Return to my own internal energy. I find grounding and stillness within. Return to my own center. Just noticing any impacts this practice has had on you physically, as well as mentally or emotionally. And when you're ready, let's inhale, reaching those arms up overhead. Exhaling, hands spread at heart center as you take a moment to just thank yourself for showing up for this practice today. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for day 8 of this 10-day Yoga for Mental Wellness and Deepening Awareness Challenge. If you enjoyed today's class, please help me out by giving this video a thumbs up, as well as subscribing to my channel to stay up to date with more classes as they're released. You can also hit that bell icon if you want to be notified as soon as classes are released so that you never miss anything. Liking and subscribing are two free and easy ways to help support this channel, help me expand our reach, and continue being able to provide this free content for you all. So I appreciate if you're able to help me out in those ways very much. Thank you again for joining me for today's practice, and I will see you tomorrow for day 9 of our challenge. Thank you again, and have a great day. Namaste.